Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Coon Rapids. Good morning, Golden Valley. Good morning, Tacoma, Washington, and our friends in Duluth. Good morning to you. Have a seat, everybody. Welcome to the Jason Show. I'm Jace. Keep that love going. Say hello to my good friend. It's Kendall Mark, everyone.
Hello. Hi.
Hello, lovely.
We have a whistler in the crowd
We
today.
do. The whole Aaron preps them, Schwaberini preps them before the show, and asked today. I've never heard Aaron. Aaron knows every one of my Q&A answers, and I know her audience prep lines. I've never heard her. There's a whistler in the audience today, and we actually have a whistler in the audience. That's right. So.
I wish I could whistle.
Yeah, I can't. Where are you? The whistler right there. Dude in the front row. I love it. Yeah. I can't whistle. There he goes.
Off.
I am unable. Can you whistle?
No, I've had so many different people try to teach me all the different ways you can move the things, and I'm rude. I can whistle like this, like that, but I can't whistle.
Yeah, I can't. Okay. Now, why do I feel like I'm in a bird sanctuary? I can't though. I can't even. I don't. The finger with the finger in the mouth. That I can't do it. The mother-in-law can do it. I don't know if my mom can whistle. Maybe that's what my dad. Did my dad ever? I don't think my dad whistled.
Wait, you can't do the whistle?
No.
Oh. That was my dog.
My
call,
lips
by
don't
the way.
do that. I don't know. That sounded creepy too, actually. But yeah.
My mouth don't move that way.
Yeah, my lips don't do that. How you doing though?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm well, and no pressure to this audience, but this is the penultimate audience before we pack up photographer Eric's unmarked black van and we head down to the Minnesota State Fair. We're going down there. And again, this question, I get this a lot. Maybe you do as well. I want to be crystal Carrington clear on this. You do not need reservations. You don't need to email Aaron. You don't need to. You don't need to get a separate ticket. You do need a ticket for the fair, but then just come down to the Fox 9 booth. We're right by the Giant Slide. We're live at 10. This isn't taped. And right, Kendall, come down and hang out with us.
What are we gonna wear? Have you thought about our outfits? Are we gonna match? Should we discuss this off
It's not
air?
the Patty Duke show. We're not going to know. I'm just going to wear a polo. Oh, you don't know who Patty Duke is. I'm sorry. We're not the Bobbsey twins. I don't know where we go. Tweedledee and Tweedledum, maybe we are.
Well,
yeah, I'm dumb, you're Tweedledee. But no, I'm just going to wear a nice polo, some shorts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look at my wardrobe.
Yeah. I'm not actually thinking about that much. I'll look nice, I'll look presentable, but we're going to be sweating like a pig. So, it's gonna. If it's hot, I hope it is. But anyway, I'm excited.
I'll match my outfits to you.
Absolutely.
I'll bring options.
Perfect. I'll decide. Yeah. That, yes, no. But we're going to have a good time. Stephanie Hansen's on the first 2 days, Thursday and Friday. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Obviously, Aaron forgot the silence your phone portion of the. Is it important? Is it a bill collector? What's happening over there? Okay.
You're in trouble. You're going to get picked on all show.
Are you kidding me? I love it. I love it. Actually, I want to give her a mug for doing that. Anyway, but come down and see us. The radio show will be down there as well. The fair is opening an hour later. Keep that in mind. It's opening now at 7 and not 6. So for your early morning routine, keep that in mind. And I think it's closing an hour earlier too. So come down and see us. I'm excited. It's going to be good. It's going to be a good time. But I'm excited. We still have 2 more shows here in the studio. Oh, and then once we're done with the fair, then it's the season premiere, season 8. Wait till you see it. We're answering a lot of questions on September 8th. Yeah.
What are we gonna wear for that?
Is it September 6th? I don't know. Whatever. The day after Labor Day. Anyway, you would think I host the show. I don't know. Whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, let's get started. It's time for the hot dish. Roll it, Leo. Here we go. You ready? Mm-hmm. I thought about you last night because our first story. Move over, Game of Thrones. It's prequel time. House of the Dragon brought in 10 million viewers Sunday night. That's the largest audience for any new original series in the history of HBO, the home box office. It still has some work to do to catch Game of Thrones popularity. That series finale brought in nearly 20 million viewers. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't realize that. That's a little bit of a discrepancy. Okay. I'm going to give the floor to the lady because you're a GOT fan. I am not. Did you watch last night?
I did watch. I did have issues getting into it, which was a little leery. I was like, are you kidding me? I thought this was done with. Either way, got to figure it out. I was able to watch it. I think people need to give it a couple more episodes. I know people have been a little like, about the whole thing. I really enjoyed it. If you haven't watched Game of Thrones before, I still think you could get on the bandwagon because it's still a little like, who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? Who are these people? But to be back in King's Landing and see the dragons and all that real blonde hair, oh, it was exciting.
Okay, now your last few seconds there, you're back. You worried me because the first part of you was a little tepid. You didn't seem that excited.
I loved being back in the world of Game of Thrones. They were really only at King's Landing, which is kind of the main place it all centers around, where the actual throne is. And I loved the story and the idea of it. It's not as intense as I thought it would be right off the bat.
What?
It wasn't.
Okay, now it's my turn because that's a perfect place for me to pick it up because I did watch it. I am not a Game of Thrones fan like you. I watched 3 seasons and I was out, girl. I was out. I was out like a black sheep at a family reunion. I was just gone. And I got there. I got to the home. I turned on the television and I really liked it.
You like the subdued version?
I liked it.
Okay.
But not intense. Are you kidding me, lady?
Well, I mean,
there's a joust, and then intercut with the joust, and I'm not giving anything away, but there is a birthing scene that I am never going to be able to get out of my head.
Yeah, and then they do cut off some hands and stuff.
They cut off hands? They cut off other things as well.
They do
I love that you lead with the cut off hands.
Yeah, well, I didn't know if we could do that, like the other things.
Did you see Friday's show? I mean, Shane.
The hot dogs.
If Shane didn't get us kicked off the air on Friday, we're fine.
I did like it though. I think all of us Game of Thrones fans were so invested in Game of Thrones that we're just waiting.
I liked it. I didn't capital love it. It was a little too intense for me, all jokes aside for a second. I almost had to turn it off, but I did persevere, and by the time it was over, I actually did like it, all jokes aside. So, Next to the dish, yesterday we told you about the 2 couples who split from the 2nd season of Love is Blind over there on Netflix. Netflix just dropped, how convenient, the trailer for their spinoff show, After the Altar. Look at this.
Love is the hardest, best thing that'll ever happen.
How's the dating world?
Some of us are still searching.
Sal moved on. It's just hard.
Marriage is not easy. Like, if anybody tries to tell you it is, there's a lie.
To the pod squad.
Deepti and Kyle care for one another.
I just want to be around him all the time, honestly.
But after Shake, she doesn't deserve to go through that heartbreak again.
With Shane, it's the lies.
Behind the scenes, Natalie can be an instigator.
Natalie is telling everybody that she found really inappropriate messages between me and you.
Shayna is the other woman. She's still trying to tear me down when I've done nothing to her.
There's zero trust.
Much more has happened. I need to tell my truth.
So, this is the show where they're in the pods, they don't see each other. I told you about this yesterday. And then they have to get married real quick, and then 2 of the couples. Okay, so you're all caught up. This looks like watching something. It looks awful because none of them are going to be together. It's not going to work.
Right.
This is just. It's like 90 Day Fiancé. They're turning this into like like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And all these people, they're going to be single. They're already all single.
Right.
So why are we going to watch this, Netflix? Poor timing.
I don't get it either because Bachelor in Paradise, for Bachelor people, they like it because people from different seasons come on and meet each other then. So there's at least a little bit of intrigue. This just sounds like it's all these people who have already had a chance to date are now going to be able to date again.
And I only liked like 30% of them. So
I don't know who any of them are.
No, they just like 2 of them were decent. But the couple from the first season, they're still together. I can't think of their names. Cameron, maybe? Yeah, maybe. Anyway, there's one couple still together from season 1. But this season was a disaster. Yeah. Tepid applause from the audience. They're like, what is this show? Can I get a whistle before we go to break? Go ahead.
Nope.
Thank you. There we go. We'll be right back, everybody. Stay with us. Back after these messages. Here we go. More fun, more laughs, more hot dish. Coming up next, producer Ted is recapping all of the uncomfortableness and awkwardness that comes with the hometown date on the Bachelorettes. 2 of them. Then our favorite paranormal investigator, our friend Dave Schrader, is live in our studio with a preview of his new Travel Channel special, uncovering a scary old mystery.
I feel like I got stabbed in the gut.
In Montana. And Kendall is giving you your first look at some big cats from Tiger King who now call Minnesota home. That and more when we come back. To the show, feelings are heating up on the. Now, before we talk about The Bachelorette, it's funny. A woman emailed me and she goes, Jason, I don't watch The Bachelorette, but you know why I like that segment? Because that Theodore is entertaining. And I said, yeah. I said, trust me, I don't watch this crap either. I wouldn't do this segment. I don't care about The Bachelorette. I do it because Theodore is a little entertaining. Yeah. So let me continue. Feelings a little entertaining. I mean, today, hopefully, Feelings are heating up on the Bachelorettes, plural, and this week Rachel and Gabby meet their boyfriends' families. But for one of the ladies, it wasn't a smooth ride. Look.
How in just 5 weeks do you know enough about her?
I know the important stuff.
I have trouble wrapping my head around the fact that this could happen that quickly. And so tell me, what's Tino like? Convince me that you know him, the real Tino.
I think it's just the way he looks at life and his positive outlook. I feel like I have so much to learn from him, and he's so humble and caring, and people just gravitate towards him.
Don't take this the wrong way. It just sounds, I mean, you're saying all the right things, and it's like, that's all great, but at least in our mind, from 20,000 feet away, we see it as like this fairy tale thing. Like I said, I'm looking out for him.
Yeah.
It's nothing against you. I'm just making sure that he's making the right choice and that it's the right match.
Yeah.
Can't really blame him. And the drama is not just limited to Tino's family. That's right. I always think of pizza rolls with Tino. Remember the Totinos? Anyway, who will survive hometown and make it one step closer to the fantasy suites? And that means sex on network television.
Ooh.
Thank you, audience. There'll be none of that here today. It's time once again for 32% of America Loves Ted. Joining us from Bachelor headquarters, Ted Johnson. What, Ted? What?
Who said anything about sex?
I know, the fantasy suites. I'm just saying.
Go in a room and shut the door.
That's right. That's all that is. Rachel met Zach's family, and Zach has a famous uncle.
Yeah, so this was kind of crazy. Absolutely nothing happened on this date, but you go to this guy's house and they walk in the door and you're like, oh my gosh, I think that's David Putty from Seinfeld. There he is.
What?
That is this guy's uncle.
Well, I know him as the guy that gives you the rules on Soarin' at Walt Disney World.
That guy, that guy too. He's that guy.
Wow. Okay, so Rachel had another rough date, this time with the dude Tyler.
Yeah, so they went to his hometown, which is on the Jersey Shore. They walked along the boardwalk. I mean, look at them. They look like they are having the time of their life, right? They are in love. They are ready to meet the family. You know, I mean, you don't make out on a carousel unless you're serious, right?
Yeah.
Well, somewhere along the way, Rachel wasn't exactly feeling this. And she tried to let the guy down, but he wouldn't really let her speak. So he was basically, so she's ready to break up mid-hometown date, and he is trying to filibuster her out of it. Take a look.
I feel so lucky to know you.
Oh, you have no, like, since the day that I met you. And, you know, I know your past and, like, you know mine.
Yeah.
And, you know, during my, like, darkest, like, times, you know, we know how hard that is. And you, like, just say to yourself, and I used to say to myself all the time, like, there's a reason for all this. Like,
Yeah.
just wait for it. Like, wait for that, like, reason. And, like, when I met you, I'm not falling in love with you. I am so in love with you. And it has just been incredible. And I would not change a thing, and I'm just so happy that you're here and that I've had a chance to experience this with you, because this means so much. It really does. And you are literally the most amazing person I've ever met.
I'm just...
That was Ted. Ted, that was worse. That was worse than the birthing scene on the House of the Dragon.
That was painful. And she had already met some of his friends at that point, and then so she broke up with him, and he was like, "Oh, it's okay. No, don't cry. Oh, it's okay." And it's like, "Oh, dude." So dude goes home, and I didn't pull a clip of this. I really should have. The dude goes home. You know, they usually come in with the girl, and the family's sitting there. They're so happy. He walks in. They're like, "Oh, you're here, huh?" And they're like, "How in love are you?" The girl's not there, and he's like, "Well, she's not here." And dramatic music. They're like, "What?" And then he tells them that she broke her heart.
We didn't need the clip. The audience and I appreciated your recreation. Let's talk about Gabby. Gabby met Eric's family. How did that one go?
This was sweet. Yeah, I think Eric might be a front runner, but Eric's father, he's had cancer for 3 years, near death multiple times. So it really kind of took on a somber note. And then at the end of the episode, we learned that the father passed away. So it was it was like, whoa, a lot of emotions. And I don't know how to feel about this when, you go on a show like this, your dad's dying. I don't know. But you know what? Hopefully he finds his wife out of this, and, it all comes out.
I hear a rumor that you have another bonus clip for us today.
We have never done this before.
We did it last week.
Well, we did it last week, yes.
Yeah.
But we've never done it 2 weeks in a row.
That's right. I apologize, Ted. We haven't done it since last Tuesday.
So remember last Tuesday, it was the call for more bachelorettes or more bachelors. It was like, dump your boyfriend. Well, they really mean it. Take a look.
You know that he knows that you know that he knows that you know he's never going to propose. Apply to be on The Bachelor. Go to abc.com/casting tonight.
You know that
he knows that you know that he's never going to propose to you.
So come on The Bachelor.
Email ABC and get on this stupid show.
I love that they're just being upfront about it right now.
They don't care. Ted, we love you. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. You done did good. Now, what you didn't see at home was I was watching my buddy Kendall's face over there when that clip was running of the guy that wouldn't stop talking so she wouldn't break up with him. And you had a very interesting face. I'm totally asking you, has that happened to you? Have you had to break up with a guy like that?
Pleading the fifth. Oh, my heart hurt for her.
I know it did. I was watching your face. Next in the dish. Kevin Hart was a guest on James Corden last night, and they played a game of Truth or Eat It, and that's my late night rewind.
Kevin, I'm going to give you this one. Creamy, plant-based tuna pudding, which is...
It doesn't even make sense.
Pudding and chunks of tuna with a cinnamon stick and a fish egg garnish. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, okay. Question 3, Kevin. You've starred alongside Dwayne Johnson, Jack Black, and Nick Jonas. Rank their acting abilities from best to worst.
You're trying to destroy a franchise is what you're trying to do. These are good people. These are good men.
I would have just answered it and apologized later. Kevin did admit during the game that he made somewhere between $25 and $30 million on the Jumanji sequel. Hey, get it.
What did we do wrong with our lives? We should have been in Jumanji.
I know, seriously. Next in the dish, Sex and the City fans can get excited about season 2 of the spinoff, and just like that, a fan favorite from the original series is coming back. John Corbett is signed on to appear in a multiple episode arc. Yes, Aiden is back, everybody. He's the furniture maker and one of Carrie's most popular love interests during the original show. Hashtag unpopular opinion. I didn't love Aiden as much as a big chunk of the fan base. I will admit, I watched not during the original run. I watched after it had ended. I didn't get it. Everyone loves Aiden. Now, I did like him in the horribly tragic Sex and the City 2 movie. I did like him in there. He was charming to me, but I didn't like him on the original show.
I'm super curious how they're going to throw this in there, just because we know how last season started and ended.
Yeah.
I'm like, so are they going to try to make this something, or are they just going to make him a friend of Carrie's?
Maybe a friend, but you know, the truth of the matter is they were good together. I mean, he did kind of balance her out.
I loved them.
I know. He was, I have to admit, they were a good match, and it's good to see him.
And he is charming as can be.
Yeah. But I just want is less Che Diaz. Thank you very much. Anyway, next in the dish, the show that made Calista Flockhart a household name and was a first of its kind show on TV is ready for a comeback. This broke over the weekend. According to Deadline, the folks over there at ABC are working on an Ally McBeal sequel series. The spinoff will follow a young black woman right out of law school who joins the law firm from the original series. Calista has been approached about coming back, but we don't know what Calista has said. Ally McBeal, if you're young and you don't remember, aired for 5 seasons, and at its peak here on the FOX, drew 13 million viewers a week. It was a huge. The reason this is a big deal, there's several reasons. I won't completely nerd out, but it was a huge hit for our network, and it was really before Desperate Housewives. It was really the first dramedy on TV. You really didn't, I mean, TV was very clear cut. You know, you had dramas, you had Hill Street Blues, and then you had the Jeffersons. You had The Facts of Life, you had, it was really the first show to kind of meld the two genres. And it was huge. They used that dancing baby computer graphic, remember that? Yeah, hookah joke. Anyway, it was, did you ever watch it?
I actually watched it accidentally and really liked it and told my parents about it, and then they told me I was no longer allowed to watch it, and they watched it.
Atta girl.
Yeah.
Atta girl. We're going to take a break. I love this guy, one of our favorites. Paranormal investigator Dave Schrader's here. He is in a new show on the Travel Channel. He has like 50 shows, and they're all about scary-ass ghosts. Anyway, but he's in a new show about a creepy thing happening in Montana. What is it? Dave's going to tell you when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. Welcome back. Hey, everybody, a mystery. A mystery is buried beneath the streets of Butte, Montana, and it's terrified residents for decades. Decades. The town has teamed up with paranormal investigators to figure out what the heck is going on, including our buddy Dave Schrader. Here's a clip from the Travel Channel trailer for Ghosts of Devil's Perch.
There's a monster that lives in the tunnels.
Can you talk to me through this flashlight? What would cause it to jump to 95.8? Look at it.
That glass just shattered. It is a spiritual awakening, and it is mad.
What the hell?
Our job now is to figure out how we can stop this before things get really bad for the town of Butte.
Are you trying to hurt anybody else out here?
What the? Dave?
I feel like I got stabbed in the gut.
You need an ambulance. I'm actually worried that we just made it worse.
Why the hell do you need an ambulance, Dave?
Well, you know, when you walk into haunted places that are known to have notorious histories and backstories, sometimes you walk into those stories. There's psychic scars that are left, imprints on these locations. And I had a very, very scary moment, and that's in this next coming episode, episode 2.
By the way, Dave Schrader, everyone. I forgot to introduce Dave Schrader. I don't even need this because I have 1,000 questions. Okay, this sometimes the origins of your shows come in a variety of ways. You get a tip. Blah, blah. How did this come to be?
Well, this is actually the 4th season of a very popular series called Ghosts of. They did Ghosts of Shepherdstown with Nick Roth and Elizabeth Saint, who went to Shepherdstown and dealt with the paranormal there for 2 seasons. The spin-off came the next season with Ghosts of Morgan City in Louisiana with Ben Hansen, Sarah Lemos, Katie Stafford, who's on our show.
Yeah.
And then this is the new one. So what happened is once you kind of open that can of worms, and the police and mayors around the United States are paying attention, they saw what kind of help the investigators were able to bring. The mayor, J.P. Gallagher, and police chief Sheriff Lester from Butte, Montana, are dealing with a lot of supernatural issues. And they're not firmly believers, but they also know and love the constituents in their community. And they don't know how to bring them help, so they were willing to open up the doors and give us a chance to come in.
So, because I would imagine when the floodgates are open and people know what you do, I'm sure you get your fair share of things you don't really want to or need to follow through. How did you know this one was worthy of a follow-up email or phone call?
Well, the town of Butte, I mean, this town is so amazing and steeped in history, and you want the Wild West, this is it, right?
And this is the town right now that we're looking at, Dave?
Okay. Yeah, and the Devil's Perch is named because the miners were doing so much work there, ore and copper and silver, and they dug so deep that the devil sat above them watching them do their work because they had gone past hell, I guess is their concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had so much going on in that town, and, 24-hour mining, 24-hour prostitution, gambling, everything, every vice you could imagine. So there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in that town and a lot of tragedy. So when you get the opportunity, and I love history, and the ghosts make the history come alive. I love to be able to go to these locations, put myself in that moment, and get a chance to communicate.
In that trailer that we saw, you said a line that I want to circle back. You're like, I can't quote you exactly, but you said, we need to help them before something bad happens or something to the city. What was happening? Like, what was...
They're refurbishing their town.
Okay.
Right? They're trying to clean it up and invite in a whole new generation of people. So they're constantly stirring things up.
Are they trying to make it more touristy?
Well, not even that. Just trying to make it vibrant and alive again.
Okay.
Copper mining is not a big thing anymore. So they're just trying to reinvigorate the community.
Recalibrate, yeah.
And fixing up old buildings and streets. And sometimes when you start stirring up historic locations, it's like the ghosts demand to be remembered. They don't want to be forgotten. And sometimes when you sweep things under the carpet, eventually you got to lift that carpet, and now the spirits are coming out to let you
they
know.
don't want these buildings being turned into baby gaps.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't see that one coming. No, yeah, that's good. Right, they just want to be remembered, and for the right reasons. You know, the winners are always the names that, you know, the Copper Kings of the town and the legends. They're the people everybody talks about and goes to see museums about, but they forget that tens of thousands of people built that city.
Was everyone in the town happy to see you?
No. No, not everyone, but there were a lot of people that were, and once we started going in and helping, it's amazing how many people came out to tell stories. You know, when you saw in that clip I go down in this new episode, it put me in the hospital. It was interesting because the doctors and nurses would come in to check on me, and then they're like, "Are you that paranormal guy?" "Yeah." "Let me tell you about what's going on third floor." And they, right?
Yeah.
They all had stories. And here I was hoping it was going to be like Grey's Anatomy and I was going to get some juicy gossip. No.
Because I love you, but there's a couple people that you don't want knocking at your door. An investigative reporter, a bill collector, or you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's not good. Well, if you're at somebody's house, you're not there for a cocktail party.
You want me there when things go bad. I'm the guy you're hoping will show up at your door, right?
Exactly.
So that's the challenge. But a lot of it is in interpreting what's being told. You know, it's easy to jump to the conclusion of let's be terrified by everything and this stuff. But sometimes it's just giving that voice back to the forgotten.
I have more questions about that ambulance and the need of the ambulance. More with Dave in a second. Catch the Ghosts of Devil's Perch Sundays on the Travel Channel. I know, poor guy's up against Game of Thrones, so watch it, please. On Travel Channel. You can also, here's what I do. It's very easy. It's on Discovery Plus. That's how I watch Dave. More with Dave when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. Go watch it right now. Press that plus sign. Record it. Welcome back. More with my buddy Dave Schrader. From the Ghosts of Devil's Perch on the Travel Channel. Go watch it. Forget Game of Thrones. Watch Dave. It's much better. There's no scary birthing scenes. Anyway.
Or is there?
Is there, yeah. I want to go back because executive producer Jeff said there's a portion, Jason, that you're going to latch onto, and it's that one. Okay, describe to us, so we saw you kind of fall to the ground. What happened? Like, describe what you were feeling. Because we're never going to feel that. What happened to you?
See, that episode airs this week.
Oh, that's right. You can't say.
And Discovery Channel has a small chip in the back of my neck.
That's right. Okay. But let me find out because I don't like ruining shows. So
right.
So let me think of let me ask
I
you
can say this.
Okay.
I can say this about it. As I said, we were investigating a very interesting part of their history, and there are these psychic scars that are left in areas, right? Have you ever walked into a room after somebody had a fight and didn't know it, but you walk in and you just feel that vibe change in the room?
It's after every Jason show meeting. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Well, I walk into what we call a place memory and have this experience where I believe I was experiencing what happened to one of the ghosts. I didn't know that. I thought I was having a heart attack. But I have a very profound, actually the second and third episodes are two of the most profound experiences I've had investigating claims of the paranormal.
Okay, that's how I was going to rephrase the question. You've sat on this couch and we've talked about, they've shown me many moments of yours. I've watched, Colin loves your shows. Where do you rank this as far as on the freak out scale?
The intensity for this season, I mean, it's 8 episodes long, and we're literally from out of the frying pan into the fire, back into the frying pan every week, trying to figure out what's going on to piece this thing together. The intensity, I'd put it definitely at an 11 on a 10 scale. So there's a lot of activity and action going on, and a lot of people that just want help and answers and understanding what's happening in their home, in their community, and in their business.
And multiple I mean, you were feeling this were you feeling that energy all over the town?
Well, thankfully, I'm not a medium, so I don't have that. Our medium, Cindy Keza, we work with, is amazing.
Let me rephrase the team. Were you guys feeling the level of creepiness?
From the minute we got there, I mean, when you watch the first episode, we landed the day before, got set up in our hotel room, and we were literally setting up our headquarters when Sheriff Lester called and said, I need you to get to the Clark Chateau. We've had an attack. And when we got out there, this woman had been there for an event. She was in the bathroom washing her hands, and she felt something slash her back. And I've heard these claims of being scratched before, and sometimes you see these 3 little raised lines. And if you watch the show, you'll see what I'm talking about. This was one of the most heinous things I've ever seen. I mean, it was like Freddy Krueger caught her in the back. And the paramedics were there patching her up when we arrived, and she just had this shock. Yeah.
Back the truck up.
Yeah.
Paramedics were needed?
Yeah. That's why the sheriff
Because Casper attacked her?
Well, this was maybe Casper's friend, Spooky, the more creepy ghost. This was not a happy spirit.
No.
And we had to go in, and then as the lead investigator, I've got the concern of I'm about to bring my medium into this place where someone was attacked, and Lord love her, Cindy she's willing to jump head first into
I
these
love Cindy.
situations, and she does remarkable work. But that was boom, immediately within the first 48 hours we get this call, and you can see when they're interviewing and talking to Sheriff Lester, he's just got this kind of blank look on his face because he, if there's a bad guy, he can go in and grab him and take him to jail.
Yeah.
In this situation, he's like, I don't know what to do, and I've never seen this before. I go, do you believe in the paranormal? He goes, no. And then he looked at her back and he goes, but I think I'm starting to consider the option. So
we have to go, but now believe me, we'll all be watching. How did that poor woman, was she freaked out on the freak out scale?
She was, when you watch it, she's in this shock zone. Her friend that was with her was very rattled, and Taylor was just kind of like trying to keep calm and keep her friend calm. It was crazy. But if this show does not work, next season I'm going to call it Game of Bones, and I'm going to ride a dragon. And I'll be handing out Rosen's Bachelorettes, whatever it takes to get seen. But
no, y'all support Dave, because again, up against, but it doesn't matter anymore. People watch when they want.
Right.
So go on Discovery Plus and put like a season record thing on there. Give it up for Dave, everybody. Catch Ghost of Devil's Perch Sundays on the Travel Channel, and like I said, streaming on Discovery Plus. And Dave also hosts the Paranormal 60 on Monday and Friday nights. And find Dave on social media, Dave Schrader, right there. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everyone. Thank you, buddy. That was great.
if you like it, come back after the season finale.
Welcome back. Welcome back, friends. We all remember watching Tiger King, during the early days of the pandemic. 4 big cats rescued from that park are now living here in Minnesota. Kendall went to learn more about them at the Wildcat Sanctuary, which is just north of the Twin Cities in Sandstone. Look.
Okay, when I first heard about Wall, I was like, wait, there's an accredited wildcat sanctuary in Minnesota?
Sadly, we hear we're the best kept secret, which is not what a nonprofit wants to hear. But it's perfect for the cats because it's a peaceful setting in the middle of nowhere where they can kind of finally have a safe haven.
Why did you make that choice to say, you know what, yeah, it'd be great to get the money, I'm sure, but...
Sanctuaries can be open to the public for educational purposes. We chose not to be. Early in the industry, we all had our own niche, and our niche was to take in cats that had really seen some abusive situations from humans and didn't really want to see humans again, and took a lot of rehabilitation. Now we've evolved a little bit where we have social cats and unreleasable wildlife and things like that, but really our job was to be here just for the animals. We have great reputable zoos in our state that can do education and show people tigers, and so our mission was kind of more internal towards the cats to give them what they need here at the sanctuary.
Which brings us right to where we are right now with 2 big cats that people have heard of from this little known show called Tiger King.
Tiger King was the worst thing to happen to our industry and the best thing to happen, because it really showcased the characters in the industry versus the victims, the animals. And luckily that tide has turned, and so people like Joe Exotic and Jeff and Lauren Lowe and Tim Stark have lost their license to operate the big cat parks because they were just breeding cats for public interaction and for profit. I have been fighting against people like that forever. It's not that we don't want people to have connections with wildlife, but not at the wildlife's expense. So it's why we need the Big Cat Public Safety Act, which is this federal bill we've been trying to get passed for a long time that would not allow public contact of any age with big cats, not allow private breeding, but would exempt our reputable zoos that are actually doing conservation work. This is Thor's favorite way to stalk. So Thor is also from the Tiger King, and he's a young tiger. He's just discovering who he is, and he always practices his hunting skills. As a white tiger and also as a youngin', he doesn't realize that he can't be seen right now.
You don't know how big you are, do you?
I wanted to test your chuffing skills.
Okay, I'm telling you, when we were in Duluth at the zoo, I did get a chuff back from their old tiger, so it like that.
Let's see if the one that can do it the best, can tell us.
Oh my gosh.
Just say hello to him and do a chuff.
Okay. Like no.
Try louder.
Okay.
We're getting nothing. Hey, I got the chuff till you came with, so I don't know what happened.
I thought I had the gift. I'm so upset about the chuffing.
I mean, I hate to tell you, but he actually loves everybody, so this is the first time.
No.
This is the first time we've seen this.
Thor, I don't know what I did. All I want is to love you. I just want you to love me back. He literally looked away when I said that.
He did.
Come on. Oh my gosh. Like lounging in that pool like I'm lounging my kiddie pool in the backyard.
Are you talking?
That's a kiddie pool. Get it? You know, does it ever just break your heart? And in my opinion, I'm like, does it just make you hate everyone when you see some of these conditions that these cats come out of?
I hear that all the time, and kind of my response is, it only takes one person to harm an animal, but it takes a community of people to save an animal. I mean, it took so many sanctuaries, so many authorities, so many donors, so much media to give him a better life, and so there is way more good out there than bad.
Okay, so this is what you do if you love animals like I do, and I know that you do. You need to support the Big Cat Public Safety Act. You need to not pet, take pictures with cubs, keep the wildlife in the wild, and I think that's it, right, Thor? All right, one and done. I'll take it. I'll take that for the win.
You only got one.
Just the one.
I have a question, but can I tell you right now, my mother loves large cats. We used to have tiger wallpaper in our house. I'm not joking, she's probably crying right now. So Tammy, if you need any part-time workers, her name is Darlene. Anyway,
so beautiful.
Why did you have to wear a mask?
So actually, the big cats can get COVID. I don't know if everybody remembers back in 2020, it came out a couple zoos, and they had an issue actually at their sanctuary too, because the cats are close enough to each other. So they're still taking those precautions. And unfortunately, you heard it earlier, but you can't go visit the sanctuary. They keep it that way for the cats, which I think is really cool. So
yeah, it's not about us, it's about them. To learn more about the Wildcat Sanctuary, visit wildcatsanctuary.org. Tammy, thank you for letting us in. We greatly appreciate it. We'll be right back in a moment. But no, seriously, Dar will work part-time. Welcome back. It is time for the world's shortest segment. Move over, now don't write me, I didn't write this. Move over, Michael Jackson. Rolling Stone UK just crowned a new king of pop. According to the cover, it's Harry Styles. Here he is. Here he is in a fur coat wearing pink sequin shorts and holding a birthday cake. That's exactly what I'm gonna wear to the fair on day one. That's right. Fans of Michael Jackson quickly ripped the magazine saying Michael will always be the king of pop. Yes. We're gonna take a break. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back. Well, you know how this works. I don't know what's in this segment until right now. Surprise goodbye time. Today, a new use for a hot dog.
No.
You got to see this. A guy at the Yankees game was caught on tape turning his hot dog into a straw. He poked a hole through the hot dog, then stuck it in his beer and started sipping. People aren't sure if it's gross or ingenious.
I'm not saying a word.
Okay. We should show that to Shane. Tomorrow on the show, it's another Staff Best Thing Ever streaming edition. What are we all watching? We'll talk about it tomorrow. Go out there and be yourself, everybody. No one can tell you're doing it wrong.